The cat kept looking at Dad all night. Dad watched a video and figured out why. Daniel is in shock as he watches the video. It's real evidence that might answer many of his questions, but as he replays the video, doubt starts to creep in. He always thought Muffins was a peculiar cat, but this revelation is beyond anything he ever imagined. 4 years ago, when Daniel Hawkins and his family chose Muffins, the fluffy white kitten, he quickly became a cherished part of the family. Daniel couldn't resist the adorable kitten's charm, and that's how Muffins joined the Hawkins family. Little did they realize the surprises Muffins had in store for them. Daniel's 2 kids absolutely loved Muffins. They often snuggled with him all night, stroking his fluffy fur and listening to his purr. Muffins had been there for every single celebration you could think of. The kids' first day at school, Christmas, birthdays, and more. But still, to this day, there was one moment that Daniel can't forget. A moment that had Daniel seriously considering sending Muffins away. It was a Friday afternoon, and Daniel had the afternoon off work. After running a few errands in the city, he headed back home. Pulling up to the driveway, all of a sudden, Daniel sees something that leaves him blindsided. It was Muffins. He was sprawled across the front drive with something in his mouth. It was a mouse. Fair enough, a cat eating a mouse is pretty normal. It's what they were born to do, their natural instinct. But Daniel seriously couldn't put that image to the back of his mind. As he got out of the car, he walked past Muffins, and he purred. Little did Daniel know that his cat catching a mouse would be the least of his worries. When Daniel was 13, he was diagnosed with asthma. Throughout his life, he had trouble breathing, especially at night. He could never run a marathon. He never tried a cigarette, and he always had to have his inhaler on standby. He had seen countless doctors and specialists, but they couldn't really come up with a solution. Little did Daniel know he would soon find the answer to his question. For Daniel, his troubled breathing more recently happened, especially at night. He wasn't sure why, but there were moments in the night where it felt like glass was scratching his throat. He had spent countless nights sitting up, trying to catch his breath. As time went on, Daniel felt more and more frustrated. He just wanted a peaceful good night's sleep. One night, Daniel woke up coughing. He was wheezing, and his chest felt tight. He looked at the clock. It was 4:06 a.m. His wife was fast asleep next to him, tucked into their duvet. He got up to get a glass of water from the kitchen, but then he suddenly noticed something. It's Muffins. What was he doing? Sitting on a chair with silence filling the room and the moonlight glow shimmering on his fluffy brown fur, Muffins was staring at Daniel, watching his every move. As Daniel got up to get his water, Muffins' eyes followed him eerily across the room, and a feeling of anxiety crept upon Daniel. What was the matter with Muffins? This situation happened again the day after at the exact same time, 4:06 a.m. Daniel woke up coughing to find Muffins staring at him. Okay, this is super weird, thought Daniel. He went over and stroked Muffins, who responded with a purr. What are you doing up this late? Whispered Daniel. Suddenly, a thought popped into Daniel's head. Why was he staring at me? He pondered for a while before getting back into bed. The following morning, as Daniel ate his toast and cereal, he watched Muffins creep around the house. His 2 girls were playing with him while they watched some TV. His youngest, Ella, scooped Muffins up and cuddled him close, but Daniel felt a lump in his throat, unable to get last night's antics out of his head. He knew he had to do something, so he did. Daniel grabbed his wallet, car keys, kissed his wife goodbye, and set off to the supermarket. While driving there, all he could think of was Muffins' alarming and quite scary stare. He needed some answers. Pulling up to the supermarket, Daniel saw a stray cat walking across the road. He smiled to himself before heading inside. I'm looking for a video camera, please, preferably one with night vision, Daniel asked a member of staff who was rearranging a shelf full of blue denim pants. Sure thing, the employee replied with a polite smile. She left him for a few minutes before coming back armed with a video camera. He was finally going to get some answers. Daniel set up the camera before bedtime, placing it behind a book. As he kissed his 2 girls goodnight, he noticed Muffins lingering in the hallway. His green eyes were focused on Daniel's every move. Daniel got into bed, kissed his wife goodnight, and snuggled into his duvet. Silence filled the room, and he slowly drifted off to sleep, knowing that in the morning he'd finally have answers. The following morning, Daniel woke up and immediately remembered the camera. As he waved goodbye to his kids who were off to play soccer, he sprinted back upstairs while Muffin watched his every move. He shut the bedroom door, pulled out the memory card from the camera, and plugged it into his computer. While he waited for it to load, a feeling of excitement jolted Daniel. Finally, some answers. As Daniel pressed play on the recorded video, he let out a sigh. "Please give me answers," he whispered out loud. The video showed nothing for the first few hours, just Daniel and his wife tossing and turning in their bed. Fast forwarding the video, suddenly Daniel pressed pause. He could see Muffins in the video. He was perched at the end of the bed. Then slowly, he made his way up to Daniel, who was fast asleep. What was he doing? "No way," shouted Daniel. He was sitting in his bedroom watching the recorded video from last night. The video shows Muffin slowly creeping his way closer and closer to Daniel's face before getting completely comfortable and settling down on top of his nose and mouth. Daniel couldn't believe it. This would explain why he recently started having trouble breathing at night. Pressing pause on the video, Daniel got up. Muffins crept into the room, and Daniel turned to him before cracking a smile. The following morning, over a cup of coffee and freshly cooked toast, Daniel explained everything to his wife. She was equally shocked at the outcome, but felt happy that her husband finally had some answers. "That's some way to show his love," Daniel's wife joked. "Yeah, I guess it is," Daniel replied with a smirk on his face. After Daniel finished reading his morning newspaper, he heard a scratching sound. He turned around and saw Muffins sitting in the corner of the room staring at him. Daniel gently placed the newspaper down, walked over to Muffins, and scooped him up. He cradled Muffins close to his chest, running his fingers through the cat's silky fur. Muffins gazed at his owner and purred contentedly. He was exactly where he wanted to be. This story highlights the fact that our beloved pets have their own desires and ways of communicating them. Whether it's for food, a drink, playtime, or, in Muffin's case, cuddles, they will do whatever it takes to get what they want, even if it means smothering their owners with affection. What do you think of this story? Please share your thoughts in the comments. I hope you like this story. Please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends and family. Also subscribe and press the bell icon to never miss the update from our channel. Thank you.